Two angels are banished from heaven and are forced to move to Dayton City because it's the city that's filled with the most evil spirits. And they have to kill these ghosts so that they can collect enough heaven coins so they can enter heaven again. And the two angels are Panty, who's a girl that lets anybody get between her legs. It doesn't matter who it is, they can get between them legs. She's always letting them smash. And the other angel is Stocking, who's a golf angel that only cares about eating sweet. Now we can enter the world of Panty and Stocking, which is a very interesting world where we see angels remove their underwear and stockings so they can fight evil spirits. Episode 1 is very interesting because we're introduced to Panty and Stocking, and they fight a shit monster as the first ghost that they fight. And it's very interesting especially because we see the different attitudes that Panty and Stocking has, and it shows like literally how they are. It shows that they literally are lazy when it comes to actually doing their job. And we also find out that Panty's always out here like letting anybody smash, because the first thing we see them smash. And one of the other things we learn is that when they transform, we get to see them in a different art style. It looks like a normal anime art style, and just know it's very lit because like the music comes on. I think the song's called Fly Away, and it's fire. And that's how we get introduced to them. And also each episode always has like two different things. So the first part of the episode, they literally fight a shit monster. The second part, they literally fight this racing like evil spirit that like controls cars. Like first it's a motorcycle, then eventually a car, then a truck. And literally Panty's underwear gets stuck on there, and like it's very wild because at one point there's literally like a camera for a news reporter, and they're literally recording her, and she has no underwear on, and just know she's on the helicopter, and they see all that. Yeah, it's very wild, but it's very interesting. Just know episode 2 is just as wild because they literally go to a school and they infiltrate a school and they fight a queen bee, because like she's like literally the person they're fighting literally looks like one of them, like, you know, like any type of high school one. They're blonde, all that from like early 2000 type of stuff. She looks like that. They basically say that she looks like a Barbie doll, and it's hilarious. And also the other part of the episode, which is hilarious, is literally Panty and Stocking. They get invited to like make their own film, and Panty dumbass, bro, she literally shows off that she was in a porno. Yeah, and it's wild, and like she literally almost ruins their career, and then they have to go and find out like all the different stuff. And then after they do that, Panty acts like a hot shot, and then Stocking gets mad. But yeah, this whole series is very wild, especially from like all the different spirits they fight, because they fight a lot of different evil spirits and they take them out. A lot of them are ridiculous. Two of the one reoccurring characters that reoccur throughout like starting like episode 5-ish is the Demon Sisters. One, it's Scanty and Knee Socks, and they literally are the demon versions of like Panty and Stocking. They have their own, like when they transform, they do the same thing like Panty and Stocking does. The one thing I really enjoy about this anime is just like the different animation styles we get, and this anime is very hilarious, especially if you watch the English dub, because the English dub is like miles, like it's one of them English dubs that's like way funnier than the sub, because I was rolling. So this is one I like would always say you need to watch dub because it's really good, and like you'll be rolling, especially because Panty and Stocking say a lot of out-of-pocket stuff. Even Garter Belt, who's also there, he's the black priest. Hey, I was happy when they had a black priest. But yeah, this whole series is so wild, and like I'm rolling all the time because there's so much like out-of-pocket stuff they do, because especially Panty, bro, she says a lot of out-of-pocket stuff. Even Stocking, because there's a lot of times they do a lot of wild stuff, like when Stocking literally gets with one of the evil spirits and it's wild. And there's like one when literally like they're literally picking boogers and it becomes like a trend, and it's very wild. And also the other thing I love about this anime is they make a lot of references to other like series, especially in one of the episodes when literally there's a Transformer reference, because they literally Transformers crash on Earth and they literally eat the core, and literally they turn it like Panty, I'm pretty sure, turns into like Megatron, and then Stocking is like is Optimus Prime. It might be the other way around, I don't remember exactly, but it's very funny. Like they make so many different references to other shows, and like I love stuff like that. I love like when they do stuff like that because it's very interesting. We get to see like their own version of how they would do stuff. Like they make a reference about Indiana Jones, and like there's a lot of different references to other like series, and that's the one thing I really like about Panty and Stocking. It's very hilarious. I love the different references it makes, and like the story is not that bad. I know that we should get a season 2 because especially because the way that the ending ended, but I heard people say there's a comic that kind of like finishes the series or something like that, and you can tell the creators were on one when they were making this, because there's like so much wild stuff that happens in this anime. If you've seen this anime, you know how wild it is, especially because Panty be smashing everybody. And when we get to the climax of the series, when like basically Stocking gets sent back to heaven, but Panty has to stay there, and like they basically tell her that she can't have sex, and they turn her back into a virgin until she has sex with Brief and gets her powers back. Yeah, this whole series is wild. There's even like a sperm. There's like even a sperm spirit. Yeah, there's like so much wild stuff in this whole series when you actually look at it, because each episode is very wild. And Chuck, who they're always abusing, because that's their like one pet, because it's like some weird looking dead pet thing. I don't know exactly what Chuck is, but yeah. Panty and Stocking is hilarious. If you've seen Panty and Stocking, please let me know how you feel about it, because bro, I be rolling all the time when I watch this. And the one thing I always do love, and I'm probably gonna make like a video like on TikTok about it eventually, is like when they're like transforming. I love that, because the music that plays there, I literally have that song on my phone because it's literally so good. And like I love that shit. It's like dun 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 dun. Yeah, that shit is fire. Yeah, that's the one thing I'll tell you about this series. That shit right there is fire. Even the story in general is interesting, especially how we get to see like them like literally fight all these evil spirits and like all the unique spirits that they have, because like I said, the show in general is very unique. It's a very interesting take on, like, I guess you could say, angels and demons, and like add in some funny comedy to it. And like the anime, literally you think it is like a cartoon because the way the style looks, but then like the animation switches so many different times that it's like, yeah, it's an anime. And like I said, it's a very unique story. We'll probably never see anything like this again unless they come out with a season 2, because I'm pretty sure it's an anime original series. But yeah, if you've seen Panty and Stocking, let me know how you feel about it. If you've not seen it, please watch it, because it's a very good anime, and it's one that I recommend to anybody, because you'll be rolling, because there's so much like adult humor that's hilarious, because this is one of these shows that actually is an adult humor show, and there's like so much stuff in the show that'll have you rolling. And it is like very interesting like how they made like the demon sisters, because like they're literally a counterpart to Panty and Stocking. So like I like them, even though like towards the end like they come like so much into the show, though. It's starting like episode 6, they literally show up like almost every single episode after that. There's even like a zombie episode. Like I said, there's so many different references. Like there's even like, because they make a Resident Evil reference in the zombie episode because of the police station and other stuff, and some of like how the police station looks. So yeah, it's a very interesting show, and like I mess with it heavily. But yeah, if you're new, why not subscribe? If you enjoyed the video, why not subscribe? If you like the video, why not like? If you think you could dislike, subscribe if you really enjoy. But yeah, Panty and Stocking is so good, and like like I said, it's an anime I recommend to anybody. Please, if you've not seen this anime, please go watch it, because like I said, you'll be rolling, because there's so much adult humor that's in this anime that's so hilarious. And like some of the different ghosts that they fight and some of the different topics, because they, trust me, Panty is a hoe. I'm sorry, Panty is a hoe. There's even an episode like where Stocking, because she eats so many sweets, that there's like a ghost that gets inside of her, like a obesity ghost, and she literally starts getting fat. Like they make so many different references to different stuff, and they talk about different topics. That's why I really like it. And like it's one of these anime I feel like everybody should like, because like it's like nothing crazy, but it's just like, it's a very interesting adult anime that people would like, because it makes a lot of adult humor, and you'll be rolling from like all the different things, and like seeing what they get into. And like at the ending when Stocking backstabs her, it kind of leaves us on a cliffhanger. But there is like a few OVAs that they have that are interesting. But yeah, if you've seen Panty Stocking, like I said earlier, please let me know in the comments how you feel about it. But yeah, please watch Panty and Stocking, because it's a really good anime and you'll be rolling watching it. But thank you for watching. I'll see you next video though. Bye.